So I want to react to Peacemaker season 2, episode 6, Fire. Are we in season 2? Yeah, we are. Season 2, episode 6, Fire. It's on HBO Max, and I got these dope creators that I want y'all to watch with me to help me organize my thoughts. And let's see if we react to the same thing. Comment below, and let's get into it. All right, the first creator we're gonna react to is John Campea. Amcia. I'm probably saying his name horrible. My bad. It's John Campea. Let's check out his stuff. Spoilers alert. If you have not watched the episode yet, spoilers alert. Y'all, don't say I didn't warn you.
A show on Friday, but we want to talk about it anyway. Peacemaker. First of all, the season's been fantastic. I have loved the season of Peacemaker. I don't know if I like it more than season 1 or not. I'm going to wait till the season's over to give my full thoughts on that. But one of the things that we knew was that they said right from the beginning that the final 3 episodes of this season of Peacemaker were almost like its own season. And the craziness really starts to come out. Well, this past Thursday, we had the first of the final 3 episodes. And it did not disappoint.
This season has been on fire. Yep, the writing. James Gunn knows how to write stories. It's a fact. We got to give that to him. He just knows how to do it right. There's some creative decisions I can have an issue with. I'm still on the fact that I don't like how he did Gamora and Peter Quill in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, but that's a whole different discussion. But the man cares about these characters way better than Tahiti, whatever his name is, cared for Thor in the Marvel universe. But again, that's another different story. Anyway, let's keep going.
Was crazy. And you know what? It started off with me feeling really sad because I saw that the episode was only gonna be like 37 minutes long or something like that. And I'm like, oh God, here we go. But boy, did they nail and take best advantage of every one of those 37 minutes.
As they supposed to.
Every one of those 37 minutes.
As they supposed to.
The dialogue, again, as I've come to expect in Peacemaker, is tight and fun and crisp and funny.
Yeah.
And by the way, Jonathan, you might want to throw up even though it's several days old, we'll put up the spoiler because we're talking about spoilers.
Yeah,
Jonathan and I were talking about this before the show starts today. Vigilante meeting himself. First of all,
highlight of the show.
Forget him the whole time. And is Peacemaker your best friend? What? No, I hate that guy. I mean, I just thought that was amazing. There are a couple of moments in this season. We talked about that one scene John Cena had where he's really just going over how broken he is and how unhappy.
And that's the fact that he hates it's not a testament to the great writing of the subtle differences between both dimensions, parallel universe. Like everything between Adrian was the same until that moment. Oh, in this world, Peacemaker, he hates Peacemaker. The other world, Adrian, and it works out because remember, Adrian or Vigilante hates racism. His morality is all weird and whacked out, but he hates racism. So in the original world, Peacemaker is not racist. You know what I'm saying? Even though he was brought up by a racist father or an environment, he didn't really end up having those notions, So Adrian never clashes with Peacemaker when it comes to racism. But of course, he's consistent with that in the other universe that he hates racism, and Peacemaker is an actual racist in that world. At least the Peacemaker before our original guy, our boy on a lot, kills him. My bad, I'm talking TikTok. And real quick warning, if the pauses bother you, I will link the original videos so you can watch the original videos themselves from the creators, and then you can just come right back here and we can keep going.
He is and all kind of stuff. It's like, that is a scene that John Cena a number of years ago would not have been capable of doing. And he did it. And it was powerful and it was really, really good. Hardcourt, who is, of course, played by James Gunn's wife, she gives her scene too when she's talking.
Both of them murked that scene. John Cena, I don't know, people get on John Cena. I don't mind him. He was growing as an actor, so I don't really care about the past too much about that. I just want to see what's happening now. Like I said, John Cena, just like Batista, I think finally The Rock is finally getting it to really challenge himself. John Cena, wrestler turned actor, great journey so far. And he the subtle, the way his mannerisms in the entire scene, in the interview room, the office, his mannerisms, the entire scenes, the way his inflections in his voice. He really made choices to really connect. The way he was looking at her, the subtle changes in his faces, like his facial expressions while he's looking at her, explaining to her like, "Yo, I love you. I want to be with you. I don't give a f how broken you think you are." She's a nightmare, she says.
It almost feels out of place because like this is such a funny show, but every moment they throw in these moments that I thought were just incredible. And I thought that monologue she gave and that performance she gave in that scene was off the charts. I thought it was just wonderful. Um, all the characters are great, and then it comes right back down to, haven't you noticed that you've seen like no people of color around here? And like
They did a really good job though setting that up.
Oh, they did. And John Cena's like that moment of like, no, like didn't notice it. And then he gazes down to the flag, unfurls it, and it's got the swastika on it.
Yeah.
Which confirmed all the fan theories that this is Earth X or a version of Earth X. But I'll tell you what, I nearly fell out of my seat, dying of laughter, when Adebayo is running down the street. Now all the neighbors, it's like, what the hell's going on? And Peacemaker's brother, who's of course from The Office, he was Pam's boyfriend in The Office, joining the chase and just yelling, "Black!" And I'm like, oh my God. And what was the other line, Jonathan?
One got out.
One got out. I'm like, oh,
one got
God.
out.
And I almost, my stomach started hurting. I was laughing so hard. I just couldn't get over it. And it's just, what a great way to end the episode too. It's like, where does this go now? And I got to tell you,
I don't think he means nothing by it, but it's crazy the reaction. His reaction, he finds it funny. I'm here just goes to show you, like, this how deep. This is gonna be deep, but this how the whole idea of privilege. The experiences are different, white privilege and the experience between black and white people. While he finds it funny, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, all black people knew what the fuck. We gotta get the fuck out of here. I wasn't even laughing too much. I was like, what the fuck? But that just goes to show you how like deep this thing goes. The experience, we all experience different things, but that's how good the show was. That show should make you feel all different range of emotions. I'm sure there's people out there, and I'm sure there's black people out there that probably found this scene funny for what it is. But for me, I was just like, what the fuck? Yo, we gotta get the fuck out of here. We gotta get the fuck out of here.
Tell you, man, every single character, I think this season has been elevated. I think Hardcore's been elevated.
Right.
I think Economos has kind of been a quiet MVP of the season.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Economos was good for like a minute, and then he snitched on everybody, and I'm like, he just snitched on everybody. Like, why'd you snitch on everybody? I don't know about all that, about him being... Nah, I don't know about that. He was cool, and then when he snitched on everybody, talking to Peacemaker's father in the other world at the end of the episode, that was I'm cool. I've never really liked too much of John Economos, but I get why people rock with him. I don't, but let me know what y'all think. Y'all rock with him or not?
Adebayo's been fantastic. Vigilante's been fantastic. Like all the 11th Street kids have been great. Frank Grillo has been an excellent addition to it. And of course, the cameo, which is not the really, really, really.
This guy, Frank Grillo, I've seen him on so many different, he's on a run. He reminds me of like what Keanu Reeves are doing. Keanu Reeves, like these actors, or Pedro Pascal, these actors that have been around for a long time, and all of a sudden it's just like they just been hitting project after project after project, right? He's on what, like from the Marvel movies to I saw him on Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone, and I think he was in a Secret Society, not Secret Society. I saw, something else James Gunn did with the animated movies. Y'all correct me in the comment section below. But he's been on it. So right now is to see his rise. He was good in the Superman movie. So even though it was a small part, but I enjoy seeing this guy. He's really good. I enjoy seeing when he plays his parts. I'm happy for him.
Really big cameo that James Gunn's been talking about, but Lex Luthor showing up was good. A lot of people saying, really, that was the big. No. Remember, James Gunn specifically said the really, really, really big cameos in the final episode. So the Lex Luthor
I mean, Nick Hoult being there, I think he did a great job as Lex, his version of Lex, which that was great. I think he did a subtle thing. I don't think people understand. I remember him doing an interview with Michael Rosenbaum in Inside of You podcast, and we're talking about how to create the best Lex. James Gunn was on that podcast at one point and stated the same thing, that Michael Rosenbaum was the best Lex, hands down. I think so too. I think one of the best version of Lex is him, and another version of the one from the animated series, Justice League animated series Unlimited. I think those are the best Lexes out there. What he did when in the conversation with Michael Rosenbaum, he told Michael told him, just do your version. Don't worry about nobody else's. Don't worry about I forgot the boy's name. I'm just forgetting these actors' name from Zack Snyder's universe. Lex, just do your version, and I think he did it. And I'm thinking about it now. If you really think about it, he did his version of a version of Lex that would exist in a brand new DC universe, which is technically James Gunn's universe. If you think about it, like he's suddenly like that's why they call this a problem, though. He's a problem. All right, let's look at one more creator's breakdown. Her name's Fantastic Frankie. I think she's dope. I want to see what she broke down. But yeah, it's an amazing episode. There's like 3 episodes left or 2 episodes left, and it's supposed to be crazy. So I can't wait to see what he comes up with. But this universe is really done well. It ties in perfectly with the new version of Superman and setting the tone. Like what James Gunn said, he's trying to set the tone for the DC for this version of the DC universe. And movie verse, yeah. Expanded universe, is it DCEU? Expanded universe or cinematic universe? DCCU? Let's see what you got.
This is why hardcore is my go. We finally got to that twist they've been alluding to all season. It didn't disappoint, at least not for me. Spoilers if you aren't up to date with Peacemaker. One lesson I took from Adrian meeting his doppelganger is that Chris is a coward in every universe. As much as we see him as this like lapdog that's following around Peacemaker, the second universe version of him choosing to hate Peacemaker shows that that's not true. Stands for what he believes is right, even though that's very jaded, and he goes 10 toes down.
Chris, am I missing something? Did she mean Adrian? Adrian is a coward in every universe? Chris? I don't get that part. Y'all might have to like correct me on this one. Because I don't know, I missed this part. I don't know, maybe she meant to say something else. I don't know who she's referring to as a Chris is a coward in every universe. Huh.
Everyone's talking about this cameo. Honestly, all it did for me was solidify Rick Flag Sr. as a butthead. You can't be that pressed over metahumans, especially since technically you're working with one. I have no beef with Superman. Peacemaker is not even a metahuman. It's clear that he's ready and willing to weaponize fear to fulfill his agenda. The highlight of this episode by a mile is this conversation between Hardcore and Chris. Jennifer Holland is the only one who had the burden of playing 2 characters at the same time. Even Fred Stroma is playing the same version of Vigilante. The difference between the 2 Hardcourts is so stark. And Jennifer Holland has just been playing this role with so much pain and thought. This argument was done with so much vulnerability and emotion, which was startling, at least for me, because we're used to seeing it with Peacemaker. He's always crying and saying what hurts his feelings.
I know that's James Gunn's wife. And one of my things with James Gunn, I personally have an issue. That's my only issue, besides certain decisions he makes creatively, is using these same characters in all his. And now, if I would talk, no hate against him. I'm cool with it. I understand it. You want to work with the people you want to work with, but I feel like with such a talent he has, I feel like he should challenge himself to. I know he just wants to have fun and cool, but he should challenge himself to use different actors, right? Y'all don't feel that? I feel like he should challenge himself to use different actors to push his pen game, or his creativity, and see what he can pull out from these actors, because he seems to be well respected or director, you know. Um, what y'all think? Or is it just like, just keep it the way it is? If it ain't broken, don't fix it, right? But I've seen her in like multiple works of his, and I never seen her at this level of her acting here was, at least in this scene, was wow.
But to watch
This
her
season.
communicate in words that she knows will resonate with Chris, because once again, he was being a butthead and he wasn't considering anyone else's feelings, was beautiful to watch. I'm glad she also brought up how creepy it is that he's dating another version of her. Especially since that version of her did not give this man consent. She doesn't know who he really is.
Fact.
Say what you want about them having the same DNA. You're using that logic, then someone can just replace their identical twin and it'll be okay if you sleep with their girlfriend.
Wow.
Of course, it was my girl Harcourt who realized there were no people of color in this universe. It was interesting to see the differences between Harcourt realizing that something was wrong and Adebayo, who was clearly in danger. I'm sure we're going to get into it more next episode, but this is definitely
For me, hold up.
Commentary on how clueless Chris was because it didn't affect him and his life was great. Because it's clear this universe was not being
Obviously, for me, I look at it differently, a little deeper. For me, I didn't notice it until it was pointed out, and I knew if I actually, because I'm most focused on the story. And this is why I think it is for me, for the top black people like me. We not looking for. This is why we tell people like all the time. We don't talk about race, bro. We're not looking at race like that. You know what I'm saying? We understand, like, if I don't know if you're in this crazy ass timeline like I am and paying attention to everything that's going on. There's a place they're trying to create in Arkansas, right, where it's supposed to be just all whites only, and okay, me and my people will be like, yeah, go ahead. Like, just leave us be. That's how I'm looking at it. Adebayo is me, like walking through. Okay, it's a place full of white people. They live in this place. Seems cool. All right, no doubt, do your thing. But they would hate us just for strolling in there. We're not looking for trouble, but they would just hate us just for strolling in there. That's the difference. We're not looking for trouble, but they will see that we don't fit there. Crazy. That's how I looked at it. I thought it was just. But shout to the girl, like shout to hardcore. But there are shout to the white people who would notice that, who would notice that because they want to, be allies, and ask some questions, or just based, or again, that could be just me be thinking so deep into it. It's just based on their training. But the fact that Chris, I like the whole idea of, I don't know if that was his intention. I don't think that was James Gunn's intention. I was reading something that he stated that if it happens, he writes Peacemaker for an emotional angle. Doesn't really, but if it happens also to show that it teaches people about privilege, and white privilege, so to speak, white privilege specifically, no doubt, which is cool. Like, but that's the whole point of art imitating life and talking about and connecting with the world today as we see it, so we can relate. And I don't like the conversation of people. Oh my God, I watch. Don't make it political, and I watched this before it's escapism. You're not escaping anything. You're just, if it's subtle, you won't notice it, but you should feel it, or you probably understand it as well. You probably won't notice it at first. Maybe you'll watch for the second time, you'll notice it, or not. But it's everywhere. It's art imitates life. It's everywhere. It's meant to. Anyway, that's just me going there. I'm rambling. Let's keep going.
subtle. He was all up in this office. I'm sure his brother and father made some oddly racist jokes. I'll do a full breakdown of the scene, but obviously the implication here is that all people of color are in some type of concentration camp. Between this,
I would love to see her breakdown of this video with y'all, and we'll react to it together. Comment below. Yeah, I would love to see that.
and Superman, I feel like James Gunn has had a lot to say, especially about fascism and the way that it's weaponized. This episode was incredible, and I cannot wait to see what's next. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead.
James Gunn, like I said, whether he meant to do it, he said if it happens, I hope he leans more into it because he knows how to write it well and be subtle with it, you know. And this whole season has been amazing. This whole season's been amazing. Shout out to all the actors doing their thing. Shout out to the writers. Yeah, the producers, the scene, the sets. Sets are crazy. Like from the different dimension, the parallel universe, from walking within the universe to get into the next dimension. Yeah, this it's an amazing show. You gotta go watch the episode. It's on HBO Max. If you have watched it yet, I want to know what you think. Subscribe. Like and subscribe. It goes a long way for me. It's your boy. I'm gonna catch you on the next video. Yeah. Peacemaker, man.